Jungkook's POV. He sat in his room staring blankly at the ceiling, replaying every moment in his mind. He had tried everything apologies, gifts, her favorite chocolate, heartfelt letter, but nothing seemed to work on her. He chuckles, remembering about the one time to seek her forgiveness. He brought her absolute favorite chocolates, which are only available in Switzerland. She was overjoyed seeing her favorite chocolates, and just as she took a bite, savoring the taste briefly, but she soon realized that those chocolates were brought by Jungkook. Her expression hardened. He saw a moment of conflict in her eyes before she tossed the rest of the chocolates in her hand to the dustbin. Later, when she thought he was nowhere near, she secretly retrieved the chocolate box which was on the dining table and ate them, savoring each bite. Jungkook, who was hiding behind the wall, saw his darling enjoying the chocolates, and a soft smile touched his lips. Despite his sadness, he felt a small, bittersweet joy in knowing his darling was enjoying the chocolates he had brought for her. Just as he was lost in his thoughts, his phone buzzed. It was her. Her heart skipped a beat, and a huge smile spread across his face as he quickly answered the call, thinking this might be the moment she finally forgives him. But as soon as he heard her voice, his smile faded. Van, Jungkook, please help me, she said in a quiet voice that even the person sitting next to her wouldn't be able to hear. But Jungkook could hear each word clearly and could feel her pain behind each word. Jungkook, darling, darling, calm down. What happened? I panicked. Hearing her letting out a painful cry, I immediately rushed out of the room to reach her as soon as possible. But her next words made me halt. While Dad, he just collapsed. He was clutching his chest, and then her every sob seemed to echo the fear she felt. I couldn't believe my ears, but I knew I had to stay calm and collected. I have to handle this with care and guide her through the storm. Jungkook, love, darling, listen to me. Take a deep breath. I continued, after hearing her taking a deep breath. Jungkook, did you call the ambulance, love? Van, yes, she replies with a heavy voice. Jungkook, good. Don't worry, nothing will happen to him. I'm coming. To you, okay? I kept my voice steady on the phone, offering some soothing words to calm her. Jungkook, stay with me. You are doing great, I said gently. Everything will be alright. Just focus on your breathing and stay positive. We will get through this together. I sped through the streets. Every second felt like an eternity. The thought of her in such a distress was unbearable, pushing me to drive faster than I ever had. My mind was a whirlwind of anxiety and determination. I couldn't stand the idea of her suffering alone. I kept speaking to her on the phone, trying to offer reassurance. Jungkook, hang in there, I'm almost there. I promised each word, a desperate attempt to keep her calm until I could reach her side. When I finally reached her, a cold shiver ran down my spine at the sight before me. She was kneeling beside her dad, who lay unconscious on the floor, his face pale. I could see the fear and exhaustion in her eyes, which made my heart ache. I knelt beside her, taking her hand in mine and trying to offer her comfort amidst the chaos. The ambulance arrived just at time. They took her dad in the ambulance. I gently guided her to the car as we followed the ambulance. Time skipped. We sat outside the emergency ward, waiting as doctors attended to her father. I noticed her anxiously scratching her hand, so I gently took her hand in mine. Jungkook, it's going to be okay, I said softly. He's getting the help he needs. I hoped my words would bring her some comfort during this difficult time. We both stood up as the doctor exited the emergency ward. Van, how's that? Her voice was drained of energy. Doctor, now he's out of danger. He had a minor heart attack. The words hit her hard. I can see the shock in her eyes as she tried to process the news. As she gained back her composure, she asked the doctor, Ryan, can I meet him now? Doctor, he's under observation right now, so you can meet him after a few hours. But right now, one of you can come with me so I can explain you further details. Jungkook, I'll go with him. You stay right here. I told her as I gently patted her head. Time skip. After talking with her dad, she felt a wave of relief wash over her. Hearing his voice, even after the news of his heart attack, brought her some peace. But I could still see the worry in her eyes. I couldn't bear to see her like this. It broke my heart. So I did the only thing that came to mind to crack a joke. Jungkook, darling, you know what the hospital gown said to the patient? She looked at me puzzled. I got you covered, I said, forcing a chuckle. As the words left my mouth, I felt embarrassed. This wasn't me. I wasn't the guy who told cheesy jokes just to make someone laugh. I preferred my self respect. But in the moment, all of that became secondary. She was what mattered. I saw the faint hint of smile tugging at her lips, and that was enough. I could cringe at myself later. For now, I have to swallow my pride, crack another lame joke, and do whatever it took to make her feel just a little bit better. After all the lame jokes, which I'm still cringing about, I finally got her to go home. Even though she was really determined to stay, I promised her that if anything happened, I'd call her immediately. She reluctantly agreed, and I could see the exhaustion in her eyes. She needed the rest, and I assured her I'd keep an eye on things here. Time skip. Author's POV. Vine's father was discharged from the hospital after a long stay, but the doctor told them that they needed to follow a strict diet to help him recover. Jungkook took it upon himself to make sure her father was well taken care of. He ensured her father took his medicines on time and followed the diet the doctor prescribed. He also visited regularly to check on how things were going and to offer his support. Whenever he was around, he would cheer Vian up, always trying to make her smile even when she felt stressed. She was really grateful to Jungkook for visiting her father daily, and as time went on, she unknowingly started to wait for his visits. She admired how he put so much effort into caring for her father, and seeing his kindness softened her heart. As she watched him, she felt a tingling sensation in her stomach, a feeling she couldn't quite name. She was confused yet drawn to him even more. Whenever Jungkook looked at her, she felt her heart start to beat faster, and his gaze made her feel nervous, but in a way that was almost comforting. It was a nervousness that left her feeling warm inside. She found herself looking forward to his presence more and more each day. To be continued.
Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.